As we look back on the life and the legacy of the 39th president of these United States, Jimmy Carter, we reflect on something that's already been mentioned, an address he gave to the country, to the nation, in July of 1979. It's known as his Malaise speech, even though, as Peter Baker said, he never used that word. In this address, President Carter made an appeal to all Americans, to every one of us, to look deeper into our souls as American citizens. It was remarkable at the time, but also sounds like something that applies all too well to right now, to this political climate today.
I want to talk to you right now about a fundamental threat to American democracy. The threat is nearly invisible in ordinary ways. It is a crisis of confidence. It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national will. We can see this crisis in the growing doubt about the meaning of our own lives and in the loss of a unity of purpose for our nation. The erosion of our confidence in the future is threatening to destroy the social and the political fabric of America. There is a growing disrespect for government and for churches and for schools, the news media, and other institutions. This is not a message of happiness or reassurance, but it is the truth, and it is a warning. Little by little, we can and we must rebuild our confidence. We can spend until we empty our treasuries, and we may summon all the wonders of science, but we can succeed only if we tap our greatest resources: America's people, America's values, and America's confidence.
Joining our conversation, former Republican strategist, political commentator, the founder of the Warning newsletter and podcast. My friend Steve Schmidt is here. Steve, you flagged this for me at ODark 30 this morning. I went back and read the transcript of the speech, and we pulled some chunks of it. Just talk about what you write about today, how this resonates with you right now.
Well, this is a profoundly important speech. It's good to be with you, Nicole. Henry Kissinger, when he was opening up China, the relationship between the United States, he was having dinner with Deng Xiaoping, and had a conversation about the French Revolution. And Henry Kissinger asked a question, and Deng Xiaoping made the point that it was too soon to tell how the French Revolution turned out. And so in that spirit, we should look at this Jimmy Carter speech, because this speech, along with one that Elie Wiesel gave on the eve of the millennium in 1999, has a real claim to be the most important speech that was given in the last 50 years in English on American soil. This was a speech of deep, deep, profound meaning that was a political millstone. The American people did not want to have a deep conversation. They did not want to do the introspection. And what the American people chose is the mythology. You know, part of this speech, as Carter's getting ready to give it, he's advised to talk about John Winthrop, the Pilgrims, the shining city on the hill. The shining city on the hill, of course, John Kennedy alludes to it in his famous Arabella speech in 1961. But this becomes the mainstay of Ronald Reagan's campaign. The idea that Jimmy Carter rejects as frivolous for the moment, as not appropriate to the truth-telling, becomes the cudgel with which his opponent beats him with. But when you go back today, from 2024, quarter way into the 21st century, it's a remarkable speech to read from a man who was born in a country that had 115 million people in 1924. When he was president, we were 218 million people. We're a much bigger country today, 340 million of us. And what this speech is about is connection and faith. faith in the country. It's a remarkable address, and I hope your audience will take time to listen to it and read it. It's worth it. It's a great address.